Hi everybody, I'm Anucha and today I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful Pesach, that is Passover tablescape. Now, before I begin, I just want to give a little recap. I do share a lot of tablescaping ideas. So our goal today was really to create a centerpiece. I don't have my Passover stuff out yet, so I'm not really setting the whole table. I mean, I may do it in the end with my regular stuff just to show you quickly and then undo it. But for now, I'm just going to show you a beautiful Passover tablescape that you can pretty easily replicate at home. No extensive crafting. Everything here is reusable for other themes. The idea is really to show you how to set your table in a way that is going to give you a very on-theme look, but in a more standard tablescape. So we're not crafting, we're not doing elaborate stuff. We are just really setting a basic table. For starters, we have these olive branches. Just a little tip, I do usually recommend buying things like greenery in store just because quality really does matter. I ordered these online from Michael's. I will drop a link to everything in the description of this video. But, you know, the back isn't as nice as the front, and, you know, which is fine because we're laying it down on the table like that. But, you know, they sent two different types even though I ordered one type and I just didn't have patience to deal with returns. They're bigger than I had imagined. So that's just one thing. Now, you could, obviously I could have measured and I could have measured how big I needed. But you definitely, I do recommend, generally speaking, buying this type of thing in store. But you can do it online and it's working out fine. I adapted a little bit. So my original plan was just to go and do one thing like this. 3 of them along the table. But now I kind of see that my table's a little small for that. And you know, I put my centerpiece in the center. So I'm going to take you through the step-by-step of assembling this. But here we have a candle holder vase. I had intended them to be floater candles, and somebody actually gave me these. I was looking for them. Somebody posted locally that they're giving them away, so that was really nice. Otherwise I would have had to buy them. So the river rocks, also for Michael's, I will definitely, you know, link them. So we did like a sort of sea theme here. You have the water, you have the rocks, and the rocks are sort of floating on the water just like they would in actually sea. And the olive branches are sort of to symbolize the journey to Israel. So as you can see, it's very on theme, but a pretty standard tablescape. And in the center, we have a tea light. So you definitely can't float the tea light. You don't have to have it. You could do a votive, which will be a little bit higher, but I like the look of the tea light. And so my original plan was just to go like this. So you could see that look. If you have a very long table, you can do one olive branch on each side and that in the center. And that's the look. You can even do it on a small table like this if you want something a little more centralized. But I'm going to show you how to fill the table. So we are taking... I'm actually first going to put down the ones that I like the least. We are taking the olive branches and we are going like this, and they're going to create a runner along the table. Like this. All right. And make sure you're putting them the right side up. And decide how spread out you want them. Obviously, you need space on the table for all of your other things. Now, the cool thing about this is, especially for the observant, because it's a holiday and not Shabbat, you can not light candles, but you can transfer the fire. So you can actually set this up on the holiday if you have an existing flame. All right, so now we have that in the center. Now, we don't really want to put fire like this. You know, if you're doing, you can sort of nestle it in between, but then you sort of have the like ugly branches in the middle and they don't stay so well. So what we're going to do is we're taking a sage green gauze runner. These are very cheap and very versatile for setting tables. So I do recommend having these types of things handy. I use them all the time for my Shabbat tables. Personally, if we wash it with hot water, we will also use it for Passover, but ask your rabbi what to do. All right. So here we go, and we're wrapping it. I like the abstract kind of scattered look, but I want it to be spread out and somewhat flat. So there we go. All right. Now, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to put, it is somewhat flat enough for that, but I don't want to risk it. So we're going to put them nestled in on either side. So here you can see I have one prepared here. I'm going to show you how to prepare the others. Here we have our holder. And I just dumped the 3 packages I bought into this vase. It's not, doesn't come like this. I just, you know, consolidated. You want it roughly until where the candle is going to be. Now, if you don't have the type that has a candle holder in the center, I would recommend going a little higher so we get a little bit look more substantial. All right, and now we're going to tilt it so we're not getting it in the center candle portion, and we are pouring in water to just cover. That's a bit more than I needed, but that's to just cover. Now, we're taking the candle, a tea light. I think it is made for tea lights. We're pre-lighting it. Again, all the links to what I use are in the description of this video. I'm blowing it out. It'll just be easier to light. We're dropping it right there in the center. So now let's arrange these where we want them. We're going to go like this. And we're going to light them. Oh, I did the water a little too high, so it is a little bit spilling on, unless it's melted wax. Yeah, so you definitely don't want to do the water too high, especially if you're going to move it around. But here you can see our beautiful tablescape. Here you go. So this is the setup, and that's the overhead view. Now you might want to use a contrasting color for the runner. I'm looking at that now and I'm thinking maybe that's what I should do. So you can decide if you want to match or if you want to contrast. I actually have one that goes well with the table itself. You could do blue to symbolize water, but then you're adding in more colors. This is quite neutral as is. There you go. So I did switch out the runner for a pink one. I felt like it did need that contrast to look intentionally wrapped. And now I'm debating between these two glasses. Now, I am fully setting the table, as you can see. I'm not doing it for my Passover stuff besides for those glasses. Everything's clean, don't worry, clean and cold. And I'm debating between these two. That I kind of like, even though it's kind of Greek, that it has those olive trees there. It's kind of cool. And if it wasn't, you know, a bit too much, I would just put them both. I mean, I know people do like a juice glass and another, but yeah, we're not doing that. I think it would look cool. I decided to go with these in the end just because of their height. I like it to be taller than the wine glass, and we are going with these napkin rings. You can find the tutorial for this at my main Moms and Crafters YouTube channel. I made those out of coasters, and of course you can definitely just buy wooden napkin rings. That just adds to the whole driftwood kind of feel of things. And our final thing are these on-theme place cards that we are going to place right over there. I only have 2 made up so far, so you're only going to see 2 of them. And here is the final tablescape. Now, normally we would have people at the heads, and we didn't put the Seder plate yet. We would definitely make the table bigger. So I'm kind of showing this to you in advance, and it is what it is. But that way you can make it for yourself. And when I do recreate this, I usually do update my blog posts. Obviously, YouTube videos are a little harder to update with, you know, edits and final results. But I do update the blog post. Anyway, you can find a blog post with all the links to all the stuff, and as well as direct links to the main stuff I used for this tablescape in the description of this video. If you enjoyed, hit the like button. Comment with any questions, and make sure to subscribe for more fun, creative Jewish ideas like this one.